Welcome to another episode of Football Scientific with me, Aaron Sauter. I'm a writer for the UFL News Hub. I cover the San Antonio Browns and the UFL. The CFL News Hub, we cover the Hamilton Tiger Cats and the CFL. We have the footballanalysis1.com where I cover the Cincinnati Bengals. I have a ton of draft content on footballanalysis1.com from this weekend. Check it out. Also, on Football Sunday, we cover the IFL, the Indoor Football League, the NAL National Arena League, and the ELF European League of Football. It's been a busy week of football. There's been a ton of games in the IFL, the NAL, the UFL. The NFL had their draft. There's a ton of activity and work going on there. Tomorrow, we have the CFL draft at 11 a.m. We get the CFL Global Draft. And then in the evenings, starting at 6 o'clock p.m., they moved from 8 to 6. We have the full CFL draft. I'll be tracking the Tiger Cats in those movements. I'll be writing some articles about that throughout the week. I'm also going to write a mid-season report on the San Antonio Brahmas after their 1-4 start to the 2025 season. It's been a rough go for the San Antonio Brahmas, okay? But we're going to jump right in. My co-host, Wolfie D. Wolfie D in the house. Let's get this done. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Okay, we're going to pick it up, kid Wolfie. We're going to jump right into some activity here. So first, Saturday night, the Michigan Panthers played the St. Louis Battlehawks. They're in the NFL draft. Okay, they're competing there. Maybe not directly competing, but competing a little bit. Michigan Panthers came in at 3-1. St. Louis Battlehawks came in at 2-2. Expected to be a tough game. I expected Michigan Panthers to come out and play some good ball. They did not. They did not come out and play that great of ball. Quarterback Bryce Perkins for the Panthers went 235 yards for 2 touchdowns and a QBR 132.5. 4 runs for 14 yards. They should have been destroying the St. Louis Battlehawks with that kind of production on offense from Bryce Perkins. Running back Toa Tuawa, 15 carries, 74 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 catches, 18 yards. Swasi Mariner, 6 catches, 111 yards, 0 touchdowns. Wide receiver Malik Turner, 8 catches, 71 yards, 1 touchdown. Defensively, they struggled. They only had 2 sacks and 5 tackles for loss. St. Louis Battlehawks. Max Duggan came out and went 9 for 12 for 124 yards and a touchdown. He had a QBR 135.4, which is definitely the best he's played this year in his second go around. He had 10 runs for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns, so he had a great game. Max Duggan came out and took over the show. Running back Jacob Sailors, he had 12 runs for 49 yards and 0 touchdowns. He also had 2 catches for 33 yards. Hakeem Butler playing his first game of the year. That made a difference, it seems like. 2 catches on 24 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's explosive plays from Hakeem Butler. He's huge. Defensively, had 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, 1 interception. We'll see the outcome of this game. Tough game. Firing back and forth, back and forth. St. Louis Battlehawks got lucky because for some unknown reason, Bryce Perkins is crushing it for the Panthers. Crushing it for the Panthers. They're going to win the game. They came back from a large deficit. They were down 17-3 at one time. They came back. They took the lead. They were up 27 something or other, 27-22 or something. Okay, they had control of the game. And then what does Mike Nolan do? Head coach of the Panthers, he puts in Danny Etling. Danny Etling stinks the place up and lets the Battlehawks take back the momentum and get back into the game and get the win. St. Louis Battlehawks win at home 32-27 against the Michigan Panthers. They're now 3-2. Michigan Panthers are 3-2. They're tied with Birmingham, who's 3-2 after losing to Memphis on Friday night. That puts never mind. Okay. Also, at the end of the game, St. Louis Battlehawks fan got real lippy, and Samson Nakua from the Michigan Panthers decided to talk back and then slap the crap out of that fan. So he's mobilized. It's hard to say what's going to happen discipline-wise. There's been no discipline so far, but he hit a fan. You can't be hitting fans to be called a professional sport. So, I mean, he's probably gone for the year, I would say. I don't know for sure. I'm just saying if I was a commissioner type, I would be like, get him out of here, bro. You can't be hitting fans. So Battlehawks win that. Michigan Panthers lost the game. May lose more. May lose Nakua due to his poor decision-making. Also, they lost the lead they had in the division. They had a chance to take over first place, and they blew that. Okay. Sunday afternoon, 12 o'clock, DC Defenders, Arlington Renegades played. They were both 3-1. It was a showdown for the XFL Conference. Similar to the last game, Arlington Renegades came out hot. Quarterback Luis Perez went 23 for 33, 268 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception for a 91.5 QBR. He had a 1 run for 10 yards. Not the best, but I mean, that's a solid day. Running back Kalen Balaj had 10 runs for 79 yards, 1 touchdown, getting the running back together. Running back Davion Smith had 1 run for 2 yards, but he got a touchdown. Wide receiver Deontay Burnett had 3 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown. Defensively, they had 2 sacks, 1 interception, 1 fumble recovery. DC Defenders, quarterback Jordan Teamu, while his stats don't show it, 23 for 46, 308 yards. That's some big chunk yards. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, QBR 84.3, 8 runs for 37 yards, 1 touchdown. What you really want to know is he came back. Arlington Renegades had the lead in that game. It looked like they were gonna get the win, and then Jordan Teamu and the DC Defenders roared back, and they stole that win. They stole that win at Arlington, so that's a huge win. Running back Deion Jackson had 6 runs for 32 yards. Not a huge running day for them. Mainly Jordan Teamu took their offense on his back and made it happen. Wide receiver Cornell Powell, 4 catches, 89 yards, 1 touchdown. Braylon Sanders, 3 catches, 81 yards. They brought him in to replace Ty Scott. He's done a pretty good job. 3 catches, 81 yards, 1 touchdown. Wide receiver Chris Rowland has 7 catches, 61 yards, 1. So the wide receivers of the Defenders are rallying around the offense and rallying around Jordan Teamu and keeping this offense alive with Ty Scott out. Okay, the defense had a huge day. They could bounce back from that Brahmas loss pretty well. They had 5 sacks, 1 interception, 1 fumble recovery. The 5 sacks goes a long way to helping them get back in that game. So what was the outcome? Like I said, comeback by Jordan Teamu, and DC Defenders won 37-33, winning probably the biggest matchup of the season so far, potentially an XFL Conference matchup, Conference Championship matchup this year. To start the playoffs, DC Defenders get the win against Arlington Renegades after losing to the Brahmas. Okay. Next, speaking of the Brahmas played on Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock. They played their pros home game. Kellerman, who went to high school in San Antonio, then went to Texas A&M, then went to the NFL, now it's back in San Antonio, had its first start at home, back in San Antonio since he was in high school. Houston Roughnecks came into town. This is a Sombrero Bowl, a rivalry game. Sombrero Bowl. Remember, the Roughnecks had just come up short of upsetting the Birmingham Stallions. And that showed. It showed. They looked pretty well. They were missing Nolan Henderson. They were missing their quarterback. But really, quarterback Jalen McClendon came in, and he played a really good game. Very similar to Max Duggan. You know, when he played in relief, he didn't play that great, but he had to start the whole game. He had a good game. Max Duggan had a good game for the Battlehawks, and Jalen McClendon had a good game for the Roughnecks. He went 22 for 32, 171 yards. He didn't throw any touchdowns. He did throw 1 interception. He had a quarterback rating 68.6, but that's better than what they've had, other than the 3 for 4 and Nolan Henderson went before he got hurt last week against the Stallions. Running backs Quandre Wright had 11 runs, 40 yards, 1 touchdown. They didn't set the world on fire. Kirk Merritt, 6 runs, 24 yards, 1 touchdown. Wide receiver Justin Hall, 9 catches, 68 yards, 0 touchdowns. But here's what happened. Houston Roughnecks defense had 4 sacks and 2 interceptions. I mentioned in the game preview, I wrote about that. The team that won the line of scrimmage in the run game and the passing was going to win that game and turnovers. And the Roughnecks swept the board. They won the game and against the run game with their defensive line against the Brahmas offensive line. They won they had more sacks. They had 4 sacks against Kellerman, and then later Jarrett Guarantano. Okay, and then they had 2 interceptions, so they won the turnover battle too. When you win every field, you're going to win the game. No, spoiler alert. Quarterback Kellerman came out and stunk up the place, 4 for 9, 35 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. The interception was thrown to Jacob Harris. He bounced off his hands and got taken back. Defensive touchdown. That's sad. Okay, QBR 15.7. That's rock bottom, Brahmas. Okay, yeah, it was so bad they pulled Kellerman in his return home to San Antonio, and quarterback Jarrett Guarantano came in and went 6 for 15. 29 yards, 0 touchdowns, an interception for a 20.1 QBR. Add it together, it's 35.7. That's half of what Jalen McClendon had. If you add them together, that's not how you do that. He had 3 rushes for 24 yards. This is a disastrous game for the Brahmas, okay? Complete disaster. They should have ran the ball more. Anthony McFarland ran the ball 6 times for 40 yards. If you do the math, that's more than 5 yards a carry. Why didn't we run the ball more? Come on, Brahmas. That's what you got to do. Run the ball more, guys. Jacob Harris, 1 catch, 24 yards, and he knocked the interception up for go on Kellerman's record. The Roughnecks loved him. He was the player of the game for the Roughnecks. Jacob Harris on the Brahmas team. Wide receiver Jontre Kirkland had 4 catches for 21 yards. Nothing notable. Defensively, they struggled. 1 sack, 1 interception. They were beaten on both lines of scrimmage. They turned the ball over. They did not finish drives. They wasted red zone opportunities. And you know what that comes out to be? Houston Roughnecks win 27-3. They're 2-3 now. They're a game out of being tied up for first place if the Stallions or Panthers lose this week. So they have a chance to get into the playoff hunt. That's where the Brahmas should have been had they won. This was a big game for getting back into a playoff hunt for the second half of the season. I'll be doing a mid-season report on this of how bad this was for the Brahmas. This was horrible. Brahmas are 1-4 now. They're 27. They got beat 27-3 in the Sombrero Bowl. The only time that's being played this year in San Antonio, their home opener, 27-3. I would say don't expect a huge crowd next time they play. That's sad football. I'm gonna go see the Brahmas play the Birmingham Stallions this Sunday. So hopefully they play better than that against Birmingham. They don't stink the place up. We're not buying a lot of expensive tickets. We're just buying the cheap ones. So with that in mind, go Brahmas. So I'm hardcore with my team. I'm used to picking teams that are not very good. I like teams that struggle and then redeem themselves. I don't like front runners, so that's why I'm a Bengals fan. Hamilton Tiger-Cats. It's the theme. I like teams that are not good and then they become good eventually. All right, UFL power rankings after this week's games, midway through the season. So the UFL power rankings mid-season. Number 1 is now the DC Defenders. They're 4-1. They're locking down the power rankings. Arlington Renegades are close number 2. They're 3-2. Birmingham Stallions have lost to the Defenders. And then they've gotten roughed up. They got beat by the Memphis Showboats. They're 3-2. I got them at number 3 right now. 3-2. St. Louis Battlehawks, whatever. I still don't think they're very good. But I think the Panthers really played down to the Battlehawks and struggled to win on the road. So I got Battlehawks at number 4 at 3-2 because they beat the Michigan Panthers. So they have to be above them. That's making sense. Number 5, Michigan Panthers, 3-2. They'll probably be a playoff team. One of those teams in the XFL conference is not going to make it. DC Defenders, Arlington Renegades, or St. Louis Battlehawks. One of them is not going to make it. Battlehawks and Renegades are tied for second place right now, which top 2 make the playoffs. So that's going to be a pretty good run down the stretch. Number 6, Houston Roughnecks, 2-3 after they decimated the Brahmas. I would say they're better than the Brahmas. Number 7, Memphis Showboats moved up from the basement after upsetting the Birmingham Stallions. Now, I would have moved the Memphis Showboats way more to the top had the Stallions had Matt Corral. Instead they started Case Cookus, who had been the Memphis Showboats quarterback last year. He was horrible for the Showboats. He went to the Stallions. People were thinking maybe he was going to play better. He's better than that. No, it's actually him. He's not very good. He made the Stallions lose to the Memphis Showboats in overtime. They were getting dominated the whole game, too. They were lucky to get back into force overtime, then they lost in overtime. He couldn't throw. He couldn't complete passes in overtime. Memphis Showboats number 7 at 1-4, and then bringing up the caboose, San Antonio Brahmas 1-4. If we could be 9th place, we would be, because that's bad. It was bad football on Sunday. Hopefully they play better than that this Sunday when we'll be at the game. Next, we got the IFL. IFL, lots of games were played this weekend. Vegas Nighthawks played the San Antonio Gunslingers. I mentioned I thought the Nighthawks had a better offense and slightly better defense. Well, that played out that way. Jerome Johnson came out, ran the ball, ran the tempo of the game, picked up first downs. Their defense got a few stops. San Antonio Gunslingers did not play great on defense, and they didn't play awesome on offense either. Vegas Nighthawks beat the San Antonio Gunslingers at San Antonio 35-28. That's a big road win for the Vegas Nighthawks. Jacksonville Sharks came into the game with no running backs. Well, one running back, Edward Vander, but he's not their best running back. Best running backs are both hurt. Quad City Steamwheelers came in with all the momentum, a 4-0 start. Not always against the best competition, though. So I expected this to be a bit of a battle, but I expected the Quad City Steamrollers to win because of the lack of running game by Jacksonville Sharks. They need a balanced offense to win games. Quarterback Caleb Brown came in. Wait, that's his name? Caleb Brown? I don't know. All right. He came in and he went 13 for 20. Caleb Barker, sorry. He went 13 for 26 for 175 yards, 50% completion rate. That's bad in indoor football. It's 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That's a bad game. Edward Vander had 13 runs, 68 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not enough to make up for 13 for 26. Just couldn't move the ball consistently. Quad City Steamrollers didn't set the world on fire. Quarterback Daquan Neal went 7 for 10. 7 for 10 on 7 completions. They went for 139 yards, though. So even though they didn't really have great stats, they did have explosive plays. And that'll do it, kids. They had 139 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, but the Sharks could not make him pay for interceptions. He also ran the ball 8 times, 41 yards, and a touchdown. And then Jordan Vesey had 3 catches, 81 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Jordan Vesey ran that game. He's probably the player of the game there. Okay, Quad City Steamrollers are now 5-0. They defeated Jacksonville Sharks 62-41. Okay, next, Fisher's Freight, losing 2 games in a row, traveled to the Iowa Barnstormers, who had lost 3 games in a row to start the season. Fisher's Freight really relying on our defense and just solid play from their offense. They didn't get either. Quarterback Keegan Shoemaker came out 8 for 18 for 80 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jaya Wright came in. He threw 1 completion. But then that's all he completed. They had 8 runs for 51 yards and 1 touchdown. They are spiraling right now. They're in that spiral you get as an expansion team where you start getting injuries, you start losing games, and now it's hard to come back from that. Iowa Barnstormers have been in a spiral for 3 years or so. But they came out. The quarterback, James Cahoon, went 17 for 28, 176 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's a good game for him. That's his best game of the year. Wide receiver Kean Williams, 8 catches, 79 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's why it went so well for James Cahoon. Iowa Barnstormers get the win. Boom. They get the win with authority. I believe it was like 65-42 or something. It was a crushing. That's bad for Fisher's Freight. They are spiraling right now. Spiraling. 3 losses in a row. Barnes will get the first win of the season. Okay. The game's on the back of that. Hang on. Technical difficulty. There might be games on the back of that. Oh, yes. There was games on the back of that. Good save, Wolfie D. Thank you for the reminder. Okay. On the back, Northern Arizona Wranglers traveled to the Arizona Rattlers. I mentioned the Rattlers are a much better team. The Wranglers are playing like an expansion team. Quarterback C.J. Fowler for the Wranglers went 12 for 23, 130 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 5 runs for 10 yards. Wide receiver Deshaun Stoudemire, 3 catches, 53 yards, and a touchdown. Rattlers quarterback Dalton Sneed, 17 for 20. That's an awesome game. Very efficient, 172 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Shannon Brown, their running back, ran 10 times for 71 yards for 2 touchdowns. They pretty much dominated this game the whole way. Corby Jr., wide receiver, 5 catches, 71 yards, and a touchdown. Rattlers dominated the whole game, as I expected them to do in that matchup. They won 49-20. So, Rattlers win. Okay. Green Bay Blizzard, which usually struggles when going to Massachusetts, went to Massachusetts, and their offense is on fire. After that game against Tulsa, their offense is on fire. They scored 74 points against Tulsa. Quarterback Max Myler went 16 for 26, 135 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 8 runs, 45 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's a great game by Max Myler for the Green Bay Blizzard offense. They came out. They had a receiver, Lowell Dutton, 6 catches, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns. Their defense had 1.5 tackles for loss, 1 interception. The interception's huge. In the indoor game, Massachusetts Pirates came out. Kenji Bahar did not play horrible. He went 20 for 32, 189 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, 1 run for 1 yard. Puka Williams Jr., formerly of the DC Defenders, went 14 runs, 60 yards, and had a great game. Thomas Owens had 3 touchdowns. T.O. Rating, both receivers for the Massachusetts Pirates. It was a shoot-'em-out game, but the Pirates got stopped a few times. They did have 4 tackles for loss, 1 fumble recovery. They were in the middle of the game. It was a shootout game. But at the very end, the Green Bay Blizzard pulled ahead to 47-35. Pulled ahead. That's a huge win for the Blizzard on the road against Massachusetts. They usually play poorly at Massachusetts. They got the win. That's a huge win. Okay, Tucson Sugar Skulls. They play the San Diego Strike Force. I expected both teams to come out and play better than I've seen from the first couple of games of the year. But Strike Force are rolling a little bit. They beat the Vegas Nighthawks. They're feeling it. They got a home game. Quarterback Nate Davis from 15 for 29, 183 yards, 2 touchdowns, interception. Not a great passing day for him, which he normally has. He did have 2 runs, which is abnormal for him. 1 yard. He got 1 touchdown, though. So he's on the goal line. Running back Trayvon Van had 11 runs, 38 yards, and a touchdown. They actually ran the ball pretty well. I mean, that was a good game by the San Diego Strike Force. Prior to Millside, I've seen them run since I've been watching into IFL. Defensively, they had 1 tackle for loss, 2 fumble recoveries, 3 interceptions. 3 interceptions, you're going to win the game. Unless you throw 100 of them, 4 or 5 interceptions back at them, but they didn't. They threw 1 interception. So they won the game. Spoiler alert. Quarterback Jorge Reyna coming out for the Tucson Sugar Skulls. Second game for them. 6 for 19. 6 for 19. 131 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That's a bad day. 6 runs, 27. It's a bad day, but maybe it's because he went against a better defense. San Diego Strike Force's defense is pretty legit right now. Alfonso Taylor, wide receiver, 3 catches, 67 yards, and a touchdown. Wide receiver Larry Harrington, who they got from Arizona Rattlers, 1 catch, 28 yards, 1 touchdown. Defense had 2 tackles for loss, 1 interception. The 3 interceptions kill you, though, in the Indoor Football League. San Diego Strike Force win the game 45-22. They're 2 in a row. They won 2 in a row. Okay, so with that, we have the IFL Power Rankings. Number 1, still the Arizona Rattlers at 4-0 until they get beat. They're my number 1 team. Number 2, Quad City Steamers have locked themselves in at number 2, beating convincingly beating the Jacksonville Sharks. Jacksonville Sharks are hurting right now. They've lost 2 in a row now. Number 3, Bay Area Panthers. They didn't play this week, but they're at 3-1. They're still at number 3. Green Bay Blizzard are accelerating. They're at 3-2 now. They've turned things around from the slow start to start the season, and they are now 3-2. They're number 4 right now. They're looking like the second best team in the East currently. Number 5, Massachusetts Pirates are back into the top half of the league, 2-3. But and they lost to the Green Bay Blizzard, but they did beat the Jacksonville Sharks, and they are looking like a better team. And Kent G. Bahar is not playing horrible. Number 6, as long as running backs are hurt for Jacksonville Sharks, they're going to struggle. I don't know how long they're going to. At least 1 more week. I bet they lose this week and go 3-3, and it's going to be a bad run right there. So we'll see. Maybe they'll pull one out and get back to 4-2 and give themselves a chance. But they're about to be left in the dust by the Quad City Steamrollers. Daquan Neal is taking over the East Division. Okay, they're my number 6 team, Jacksonville Sharks, 3-2. As long as you make the playoffs, you got a chance to. Okay, number 7, San Diego Strike Force. Yes, they're at the top half of the league now. San Diego Strike Force 2-2, big win. They're rolling a little bit, 2 in a row, 1-2 in a row. Vegas Nighthawks go back on the winning side. They went from 1-2 to 2-2. They're my number 8 team. They lost to San Diego last time they played. So I'm giving the edge to San Diego. They're fighting for a playoff spot, though, although it's less than halfway through the season. Number 9, Pitcher Straight are spiraling. They're 2-3. They've lost 3 in a row. They fell out from number 4 2 weeks ago to now they're number 9. Okay, Tulsa Oilers didn't play this week, and they're spiraling. They lost to Pitcher Straight. They're 2-2. They did beat San Diego Gunslingers, but it doesn't mean much right now. Gunslingers are not playing great football. Barnstormers got a huge win against the Fisher Straight. They're now 1-3. They're my number 11 team. Tucson Sugar Skulls came out, and Jorge Reyna stunk the place up. 3 interceptions. Can't win games doing that in IFL. Tucson Sugar Skulls are back to number 12. San Antonio Gunslingers at the lowest point. They're 1-4. They're number 13. They are crashing hard. Northern Arizona Wranglers, they have crashed to the bottom. Northern Arizona Wranglers are 0-4, and they're number 14 really. They've crashed. Okay. NAL, remember the Carolina Cobras have gone to dormancy. Leaving us with 3 games this week. Shreveport, Rougarou. Wolfie D's favorite team. Rougarou didn't play. Rougarou had a fan fest though, but they didn't play because the Carolina Cobras are done. Idaho Horsemen faced the Las Vegas Kings from the IFA. Idaho Horsemen won that game 62-24. I predict they were going to win 42-14. 62-24 about the same. But they scored a lot more points than I thought they would after they got crushed 49-0 by the Colorado Spartans. 62-24. Boom. Beaumont Renegades, Sioux City Bands played another classic shoot 'em up game. Up and down the field, up and down the field, up and down the field. Beaumont Renegades, boom. They steal the game in the last minute and win 38-35. They're 4-0. Sioux City Bandits lose again to the Beaumont Renegades by 3 points again. Columbus Lions traveled to the Colorado Spartans. I thought Colorado would win, but it'd be a tough game, and that was true. Columbus Lions came out, and Vincent Espinoza, who played for the Cobras, did pretty well, 8 for 15, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. Khalil Trotman for the Spartans went 4 for 11 for he struggled. It was not good. But the running game, running back Alexis Rosario carried the weight, 79 yards, 18 carries, 79 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Colorado Spartans, with their defensive effort, they came out and played great defense, and they had a defensive touchdown. They win the game 42-38. That defensive touchdown was what put them over the top. So with that in mind, the standings have changed. Carolina Cobras are no longer in it. Number 1, Beaumont Renegades until they lose. They're going to be my top team in the NAL. They're 4-0. They've beaten only the top teams in the NAL. They've only beaten great teams. Number 2, Omaha Beef are still hanging around. They didn't play this week. They're 4-1. They're number 2. Number 3, Colorado Spartans have gotten up to number 3. They've jumped over to Sioux City Bandits. Sioux City lost back-to-back times, 2 times in a row to Beaumont. So Colorado Spartans are number 3 now. They're looking like a good team. They're still not good on offense, but they got a chance to be decent on defense. They'll lose to Omaha Beef though. Number 4, Sioux City Bandits. They can't beat the Beaumont Renegades. They're 2-3. They can't beat the Renegades. They don't know how to do that. Number 5, Columbus Lions are struggling. They're 2-3, but it looks like they are the second best team in the American Conference right now. Right now, top 2 in the National Conference is Omaha Beef and Colorado Spartans, 4-1, 4-2. That's probably going to be your playoff teams unless Sioux City can get it together or Colorado drops the ball hard. The American Conference, Beaumont Renegades are running the show at 4-0. Columbus Lions are back there 2-3. Number 6, Idaho Horsemen playing the IFA team doesn't mean anything. They won and they're 3-3. They're number 6. Number 7, Shreveport Rougarou did not get a chance to play. They're 1-2. I think they beat the Wheeling Miners though when they played, so I got Wheeling Miners number 8, 2-3. Right now, I feel like Shreveport Rougarou and Wheeling Miners are afterthoughts. It's going to be Columbus Lions and Beaumont Renegades unless Columbus Lions fall to the floor. Boo. NFL news, a lot of NFL news this week because of the draft, but there's other stuff going on. So San Francisco 49ers, safety Malik Mustafa, he got injured. He tore a quad. Is that right? Yeah, he tore a quad. He's probably not going to be able to play this season, and they're going to have to find another safety. They brought him in for Tatanoa Huffner. He tore his ACL in the last regular season game of the year. So I was thinking about something else with the quadricep. But he tore his ACL in the last game of the year last year when he was playing cleanup time. He got injured, and now he's not going to be able to play most of the 2025 season. So they got to find a safety. Notable free agents still available in the NFL. Wide receiver Amari Cooper is looking for a home. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers is hanging on to a career by a thread. Probably with the Steelers because they didn't pick up a quarterback. Running back Nick Chubb is out there. Running back Gus Edwards is out there. Running back J.K. Dobbins is out there. Wide receiver Keelan Allen probably going to go back to the Chargers, but he's not going in one right now. Wide receiver Elijah Moore. Tight end Gerald Everett is available. Offensive lineman, which the Bengals need to pay attention here. Dalton Risner is a good guard. He's available. He's thinking about the Broncos or the Bengals or whoever else. He should go to the Bengals. Center David Carter's available. We got plenty of centers. Boom. Jacksonville Jaguars, they signed defensive end Emmanuel Ogbel, 1-year deal, $5 million. He's a free agent. Carolina Panthers have agreed to terms with former Raiders tight end Hunter Renfrow. He'll be a Carolina Panther, working with Bryce Young there. Pittsburgh Steelers released defensive tackle Montravius Adams. Boom, 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 boom. I forget who is this. That's really messy. It's like Detroit Lions. Someone. It's released. Wide receiver Ryan Watts. Who knows? It doesn't seem that important. Okay. Minnesota Vikings ran a trade with the Seattle Seahawks during the draft. They received quarterback Sam Howell to be a backup for J.J. McCarthy there. He has experience. Seattle Seahawks got the 142nd pick in the draft from the Vikings. New England Patriots released off a bunch of people. They released offensive lineman Jake Andrews, wide receiver, defensive lineman Marcus Harris, wide receiver Jaquay Jackson, linebacker Titus Leo, safety Mark Mark Dermott, I don't know. And tight end Giovanni Ricci. They picked up a ton of players in the draft, so they're probably cutting the dead weight now. Miami Dolphins, they drafted Quinn Ewers in the draft, and he went from making probably $8 million in NIL money playing at Texas next year to making $800,000 being drafted late in the NFL draft. So that's a horrible decision by Quinn Ewers to come out for the draft. Denver Broncos linebacker Dre Greenlaw, he tore his quadricep. He's going to be out. See you, man. Boom. Gabe Taylor, brother of Sean Taylor, has been invited to Washington Commanders rookie minicamp. Sean Taylor, probably the best safety in Washington Commanders Redskins history, died. His brother's going to come out the rookie minicamp. Maybe he'll fill the role. Cleveland Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders. He would have made $10 million in NIL money if he would have stayed in college. Now he's going to make $1 million for this year. He's lost $9 million in revenue because he got drafted in the fifth round. Horrible decision to come out. His dad, Deion Sanders, was his agent. He's not anymore. It's not anymore. Buffalo Bills. Boom. Looks like they picked up Elijah Moore. That's good. Okay. Dallas Cowboys. They're interested in Amari Cooper, him coming back. They traded him, remember, to the Browns. They want him back now. Arizona, they signed 6 undrafted free agents. One was Bryson Green. He's a wide receiver. Atlanta Falcons signed 11 undrafted free agents. They picked running back Nate Carter out of that. That was the best of the bunch. Carolina Panthers have claimed off of waivers defensive back MJ Devonshire. Cleveland Browns, they are interested in wide receiver Deontay Johnson. And Mitch Van Voon. Okay. They're both going to be looking to go to the Browns. They both visited. Hope that means they're with them, I guess. I don't know. Okay, Denver Broncos running back Chris Evans. He's getting a rookie tryout with the Denver Broncos. Not that they need it, but maybe they do. You never know. Green Bay Packers cut defensive tackle Leonard Payne. They signed defensive back Zane Andrews. LA Rams signed 17 undrafted free agents. They cleaned up in the undrafted free agents. One was inside linebacker Sean Dolak. He's their standout in that group. New Orleans Saints signed defensive end Chris Rump II. New York Giants signed undrafted free agent cornerback O'Donnell Fortune. They signed a Fortune. They didn't pay a Fortune. They didn't. He was undrafted free agent. He's getting league minimum. Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Robert Woods, 1 year, $2 million. They cut cornerback Ryan Watts. That's who cut Ryan Watts, Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, undrafted free agent wide receiver. Deano Tomlinson. They released him. Wait, they signed him. He's going to come to rookie minicamp. He's not signed or released. He's going to come to rookie minicamp. I got more on this sheet. Okay, Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans, man. It's hard to say what they're going to do. Tyler Lockett is signed with them. That's all you got to know. The rest is a mess. Tennessee Titans are a mess. Okay. They got Cam Ward. They're calling him the next right quarterback for Tennessee Titans. We'll see. CFL draft is tomorrow, April 29th. 11 a.m. is the global draft. 6 p.m. is the regular draft. We'll keep tabs on that for Hamilton Tire Cats. Edmonton Elks signed some people today. So signed American wide receiver Alexander Hollins, who played for BC Lions. He's now going to be with the Edmonton Elks. Saskatchewan Roughriders, they signed American defensive lineman Justin Jefferson. Is from Michigan. Montreal Alouettes, they signed American wide receiver Daniel Arnes, Arroyo or something. He played at Colorado. Ottawa Red Blacks, they signed running back Jalen Starks. He played at North Carolina State. They signed American quarterback Miles Henshaw. Okay, and they were picking these guys if they didn't get drafted. They signed undrafted free agents. So. Tiger Cats picked up 2 players. I have an article in the very near future about these 2 guys. They signed American defensive lineman Marquise Copeland, who played for the LA Rams from 2019-2023, 26 games, 22 solo tackles, 21 assists in the NFL, 1 sack. He should be legit to help fix that defensive line. The day before the CFL draft, it's a huge get to get Marquise Copeland. He played with Cincinnati, go Bearcats. 2015-2018, he played 47 games, had 79 solo tackles, 108 assists, 8.5 sacks. He should be legit for the Tirecats. He should be a major playmaker. We'll see the go Bearcats. They also signed national defense back Gadiel Cazadal. He played at St. Clair for the St. Clair Saints. He played in the CJFL. Usually played in youth sports football, but he played in the CJFL. It's a junior league. It's kind of like junior college in Canada. He's 6'1", 190. He has some good stats at the junior league. It's just hard to say how it translates to the CFL. He's probably going to come into camp. They need a national defensive back, though. It just seems like it's a big jump. In 2023, he had 7 games he played in, 14 tackles, 14 solo, and 6 assists. He had 2 tackles for loss, 1 fumble recovery. And 2024, 7 games, 14 solo tackles, 5 assists, 1 fumble recovery. 3 interceptions, which is huge, and then he had 1 block kick. So, I mean, it's going to be a big jump coming from the CJFL to the CFL. But we'll see how it goes. Paris Musketeers re-signed defensive back Wadji said he is French. He played 19 games last year, started 18, he had 57 tackles, 2 interceptions. Pretty good player. Was from France. In his hometown, Paris, good times. Munich Ravens, undrafted free agent. Munich Ravens had one of their players, Leander Weekend, get signed by the New York Jets as an undrafted free agent, as the second player to move for the Elf to the NFL this year. Danny Craig from Stuttgart Surge got signed by the Falcons. Now Leander Weekend got signed by the New York Jets. It's a big loss for the Munich Ravens. But a big opportunity. He'll probably be cut, so then they'll get him back. But maybe after their season's done. Yep. That's probably how it goes. Okay, next. The Elf starts officially. The first week is May 17th. We're going to start doing more Elf stuff here in a couple weeks. It's going to our killer week. The next couple weeks are killer football-wise. It's crazy. Nordic Storm. They have a new co-owner, Steven Schuler. Okay. He's just trying to get more money into the situation there. Paris Musketeers, they re-signed wide receiver Remy Bertolini. It's his 4th season in the Elf. He had 750 yards and 7 touchdowns, I believe, last season. So that's really good. Good pick for the Paris Musketeers. That's football going on right now. CFL draft is tomorrow. Check out my NFL draft articles on footballanalysis1.com. I'll be having a mid-season report on the San Antonio Brahmas in the near future, hopefully tomorrow. And then CFL, I'll have some articles going over the 2 guys picked, signed by the Tirecats, and then we'll also have a draft breakdown for them at the end of the week. So that's the plan. Hope you had a good night. Hope you enjoyed the show. Lots of information very quickly. It's going to be a busy couple of days. I will probably not make a show the next couple of days. It'll be very busy. We'll come back early Friday with our Prediction Palooza for next weekend. So that's the plan. Hope you have a good night. Football Scientific, the portal is closed.